In this video, we get naked. Like, completely naked. So... What is up, everybody? Welcome to a new episode of Awkward Adventures. This episode of Awkward Adventures was not initiated by questioning our own life or wanting to try a new craft. This was just started by pure curiosity, and I believe that's how a lot of Awkward Adventures are going to start. Joan had heard about these things called sensory deprivation tanks. If you're unfamiliar with sensory deprivation tanks, they're basically devices in which you get into this like pool and it isolates all of your senses. You may have seen a sensory deprivation tank already. If you watch Stranger Things season 1, the big tank 11 gets into in order to like communicate with the upside down, that's a sensory deprivation tank. If you watched Minority Report, the 3 preconks, in order to predict the future, they're laying in what is essentially a sensory deprivation tank. And so Joan was curious about us trying it and seeing what our experiences may be. So in typical Awkward Adventures fashion, we made a plan to get a whole bunch of people together, then road trip over to the nearest sensory deprivation tank spa, interview a specialist, get into a sensory deprivation tank for 90 minutes, and then meet back up and reflect on our own individual experiences. The group consisted of myself, Joan, Talon, Camden, Adri, AJ, Dominic, Dalton, and Lev. I know, it's quite a group. Roll that footage.
Road trip. Road trip.
Road trip.
Road trip.
Road trip.
Road trip.
Road trip.
Guys, get into it.
Oh.
Can you? I'm not going to do this anymore if we don't get into it. Are we into it?
Yes.
Are we in?
No.
Road trip. Road trip. Road trip.
Have you ever been in a sensory deprivation tank before?
I have not been in a sensory deprivation tank.
I've been deprived of my senses before.
No, I have not been in a sensory deprivation tank whatsoever. Neither have I.
No, I have never been in a sensory deprivation.
I've never been in one either.
How much of the video is going to be Thomas dancing right now?
All of it. Yeah. Ooh. So, just be in that tank thinking about this.
I don't have a lot of expectations. I don't know if anything's gonna happen with me. I just feel like I'm gonna be anxious the whole time.
I think it's gonna make me anxious.
Really?
Yeah. If I'm in a vacuum like that, I'm just going to be thinking of things, and I'll be thinking of things for YouTube videos probably.
Oh my god.
And then it'll just be me for like an hour trying to hold on to the thoughts. Like I won't have that release of getting to write it down.
So, the first thing that we are going to recommend is that you put earplugs in. Once your earplugs are in, then you're going to hop in the shower and rinse off. In that first shower, we ask that you just rinse with water to get any oil off the skin. And then once you've rinsed, you're able to get into your side. Oh yeah, my turn.
Yeah. Alright, bye Talon.
Bye, Tower.
What do you think it's gonna feel like?
Sexy.
I think it's gonna be like nothing. I feel like I'll feel like I'm in the void and it'll be kind of cool, kind of warm.
What's that gonna feel like emotionally?
I'm not sure, I'm kind of nervous. I don't know if I'll get trapped in my own thoughts and come out and be like, holy shit, I've realized all my childhood issues.
I think it's just gonna be like the perfect optimal meditation, but you're also gonna feel like you're in a warm little bubble.
I'm really excited to experience like what the buoyancy of that body temperature salt water is gonna be like. I hope it brings me to peace with a lot of things. I don't know what to expect. It's a lot bigger than I was expecting. I thought it was gonna be like this tiny little, like almost like a tanning booth. It's mesmerizing. The lights are fun. Ooh. I'm gonna go ahead and close the tank down. All right, I'll see you guys on the other side.
I'm hoping that like it'll help me with like anxiety, but just meditation in the future as well. But also maybe something spiritual. I don't know, maybe a little something.
I feel like my skin is gonna be super soft afterward. I feel like it'll make me feel really calm. Like I think I'll just get time to think about like issues I've been dealing with recently, and I think it'll make me feel better.
You ready?
Yeah.
Oh man, I can't see it all in here.
Take my clothes off now.
Yeah. He's in the shower.
It's really warm, and it feels like a nice blanket.
You ready?
Yeah.
What angle do you want me to film this at?
I don't care.
Yeah, fair enough.
I have a little cut on my hand, and it stings right now because of the salt water. It's gonna keep it. I guess this is where we say adieu.
Eddie.
Right, bye-bye.
Have fun, Bunny. Little does she know that it's a cryostasis chamber. Goodbye, Adriana. The world will see you in 1,000 years. They all fell for it. They all got in the cryostasis chambers.
Now they'll wake up in 3019.
You guys can come sit on the couch with me.
No.
This is perfect.
Okay.
Please introduce yourself.
My name is Kylie Higgins. I am the manager here at H2O Float. I have been a part of H2O from day one.
What are the benefits of sensory deprivation tanks?
Okay. In terms of sensory deprivation, there is a lot of benefits. Right now, I would say what we are seeing would be physical pain relief, emotional pain relief. We have a lot of clients who utilize this therapy for all kinds of different chronic illnesses, ranging from rheumatoid arthritis to fibromyalgia to like Crohn's. So it's a really neat therapy.
I feel like texture-wise of your body, it's definitely the closest thing to feeling like a slug. I do feel like extremely relaxed right now. I guess I'll put on my clothes now.
How do you feel?
Good.
Okay, yo, this is wild. I don't have words for it yet, but it was like I was just having all these thoughts rotate through and just kind of like, I wasn't holding on to any single thing. Little like kind of dreamscape style thoughts, I guess is the best way to put it. When I got up and out, and I got in the shower, as I was standing here, I could just feel gravity take its hold back on me, and that was probably the weirdest thing. It changes you. For the better, though.
Well, that was really scary at first, and then I calmed down and fell asleep.
How was it?
It was fun. I started thinking a lot. So like in the beginning, I was kind of stressed out because it's really hard to breathe in this thing. And then I realized like, oh no, the air just feels different in here. I can breathe. Yeah, my skin does feel very salty. It feels like I was just at the beach for a while, minus the sunburn.
Let me see.
All right, so it's my turn.
Yeah.
Just come on.
Hey, come on.
Is it true that a float session can cause flu-like symptoms? What? Is that a thing?
That's something I heard about. Yeah.
Really?
There are some people who have detox results from floating.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I would say, I'm sure someone would equate that to flu-like symptoms. And that's one reason we encourage hydration like crazy afterwards.
Guys, I got water for everybody. Oh. So that you can all be hydrated.
Those arms are holding all that water.
When I first got out, I was like, I don't know, it was fun, but I don't. And like when I started showering, I started like having all my senses come back. I was like, I felt gravity like push back down on me, and I was like, oh, this is I'm back in the world. Yeah, it's really weird.
Waiver signing time.
Hey, John.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
For me, like, I don't have like any grand expectations of
Yeah.
anything. Like, I don't expect to like walk out and like be in tears. Cut to that right now. I expect to just walk out and be like, that was fun.
Hopefully, like, the ones of us that are doing it at the same time, we can, like, almost use telepathy to talk to each other.
How you feeling, bud?
Feeling great. I designed a special playlist. A lot of it is music that I listen to, like, to relax on my own. So I'm really excited.
It would be great to just be like, meditate, leave the body for a second. Oh, my phone's in my pocket. Just kidding. I have no pockets. I'm naked. I don't leave my phone. I'm gonna be away from my phone for 90 minutes. I mean, I've had massages where I've had to been like, hold on, I gotta check
Oh my God.
messages.
No,
It's
Thomas.
that bad. Chum,
Yeah.
check my phone for me. I didn't fill it in now.
All right.
All right, here he goes into the stasis drop.
All right.
Have fun, bud.
I'm gonna be Super Saiyan when I come out.
Can you hear me?
No, Camden, with my other ear completely open.
Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Wait, what did you say?
Can you hear me? Sorry, sir. I don't
I'm sorry, I
understand,
can't
like, what
hear
you're
you right
saying to
now.
me.
I don't
So,
get
like,
what you're
personally,
saying,
the
so I
things
don't
that I
think
was
that I. Are
doing-
you taking a shower in your clothes?
Yes.
Caught it.
If you caught that, I'm actually impressed.
I did catch it. Are you ready?
Yes.
What do you think it's gonna be like?
I think I'm just gonna try and work through some problems, but most of it, I'm just gonna sit and try and enjoy the experience as it comes. Go into everything with an open mind.
Yeah, I feel that.
Now. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye, Angela.
Be safe.
All right. AJ's dead.
Are they at all dangerous to fall asleep in? Like, could you drown?
Yes, I'm not gonna sit here and lie and say someone couldn't drown, but to my knowledge, it's never happened within the commercial float industry unless someone was on a substance. And that's all I have to say, like, about that.
How was that?
It was good.
Yeah?
Word to the wise, don't let salt water get in your eye.
Oh yeah?
I did get a little antsy, but not as anxious as I thought it was going
Yeah?
to
Do you pee in the tank?
be. I did not pee in the tank.
You feel slimy? You feel like a slug?
Yes, you do feel very slimy. I'm a literal slimy boy right now. I think I fidgeted it a little too much. I liked the float aspect, so I was like pushing myself back and forth on the tank and like floating back and forth.
God.
I pretended like I was like in a galaxy.
Yeah.
And like that was just the galaxy washing over me
That's cool.
as I was going.
Although I no longer get to spend time devoid of sensation, at least I got a short break from it all. I feel pretty great. Ending's exactly what I wanted. Okay, watch out. I'm feeling my bones right now as I'm getting out. I'm feeling really, really good.
Yeah?
I mean, like, I have not felt this relaxed in years.
Oh damn.
Which team goes last?
They're going last, they're getting ready.
Are we doing it together? Yay!
Oh, camera duel, camera battle. This is
Break it up! Break it up!
Hey, get naked. Oh, this is yours.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay. Lev, you ready? You ready to do this?
I'm ready as I'll ever be.
I'm gonna stand over here. Oh no, you see me naked.
Oh no.
I can barely fit under this shower.
Really?
Yeah.
It's really cool though, isn't it?
It is very nice.
Don't show my naked butt. Don't show my boobies.
So what are your plans for the tank?
My plans? I don't know. I really had like those really visual dreams last night. I'd like to have more stuff like that. I also want to feel kind of like that shot from Avatar: The Last Airbender where Aang is floating in nothing and then there's the giant version of Aang.
I mean, that might happen. Have fun, buddy. I love you. Wait, you didn't put the earplugs in. Get back out.
Oh god.
How do you feel about this, bud?
Oh man, I'm so friggin' excited.
Yeah?
I've been building up for this like all day, you know?
Hell yeah.
Watching other people get into the tank and then come out having had amazing meditational experiences. AJ came out and was like, that was exactly what I wanted. It was amazing. I was like, I want to get in. I'm not really like afraid anymore. Like I feel like at the beginning of the day I was kind of afraid. It looks so inviting. It's just like it's just an egg with nice lights on. I don't feel like it's some big metal tank from a sci-fi movie about to like trap me, you know? Whoa, it's so, the water is so dense.
Yeah, it is.
This is weird water. It's like magic water.
It's slimy, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
Have fun. I'll see you soon, buddy.
This version of Camden, you're never gonna see again.
Thank God. Hopefully he'll come back cooler.
You ruined my joke by being mean to me.
I'm sorry.
Goodbye, Fred.
Goodbye. Love you.
The last round.
The last round.
Prepare yourself for the ultimate aqueous experience.
I'm excited to just like have full no senses.
I mean, that makes sense to me.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I didn't mean it as a pun. All right, Lev, this is it. You're gonna go where only 2 people have boldly gone before in this tank. All right, I'm gonna let you go so you can pull that lid down. All right? Sweet. Here we go.
Do you like going in the tank?
I love floating, yes. I try to float at least once a week, and that's what I'm at about right now. I'd say the biggest thing I notice in floating is that it's helped me to be less reactive in my daily life. It's been able to create this space within me to just kind of observe and take in before I react, and that's kind of the biggest thing the lesson I've gotten from floating.
I can't go in the water because it's so cold.
Oh, let it warm up a little bit, okay?
I'm trying. I'm hugging the curtain over here.
So how was it, bud?
It was pretty good. I got salt in my eyes right now.
Oh, did you pee in it?
No, I didn't.
Pee anything?
It wasn't any like involuntary hallucination. I mean, I guess there was some stuff when I let my mind wander, but it wasn't like a hallucination. It wasn't like
Yeah, it was more like dreaming all the way.
not even quite there. It almost felt like my imagination was starting to creep back to the way it used to be when I was younger.
Oh, that's cool.
Could never describe the things that I've seen. I feel so slimy.
Yeah,
This
it's
water
gross.
is so weird. It's a very unique experience. I could never describe how it feels to be in that with the lights off, just like no senses at all. I recommend it. It's cool.
There's a lot of experimentation I did.
Really?
I focused on like different directions. I felt as if I was moving, and looking at the ceiling, and I felt like I was moving really fast in whichever direction that I was thinking.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool.
Yeah, that happened quite a few times.
On our way.
Hello.
Oh my gosh, deer!
Truthfully, there was no deer. We just had to cut to the post-interview.
Focus up.
Focus up.
Love you, coach.
How do you feel right now?
We feel good, coach. Sorry. I'm sorry.
Sick.
I feel really sick right now.
I think we can both agree we're tired. Drink more water if you ever do this, because I didn't drink enough water, I think, and I
Like the day before, just drink a gallon of water.
And then right after.
And then right out, yeah, drink a
How
gallon.
did you feel right afterward?
I felt more calm and at peace, but I did feel pretty tired. You just kind of want to lay down afterward.
Where's AJ?
But it was a good feeling.
It was just super calming. Like once I got on my feet, I genuinely started going like, wow. My shoulders felt amazing. Like every bit of me was like relaxed.
Wow.
I felt wonderful. So Epsom salt baths are things that people do when they have like injuries, aches, EDS. But like this, if I had this constantly, like would I be disabled anymore? Maybe not. That's a joke. That's a joke, but it is lovely for that. But yeah, emotionally, physically, wonderful. Just true bliss. 10 out of 10, great experience.
I just felt pampered. Like you feel just very lackadaisical and just relaxed and loose.
I felt pretty ready to be done. I was really in it for like the first hour, and then I had to pee so bad like an hour in that I got out. So by the time I got back in, I was so out of it. So like afterwards, I was like, cool, I'm done.
I felt very emotional for some reason. I left early.
Yeah.
I just called Adrian. I was like, hey, I'm getting out early.
Yeah, and I was like,
And that
oh,
was all the
no.
information I gave her.
I had to run across a highway from a falafel place because I thought something happened maybe. I made it in record time. After I got out of the tank, I felt very like soft. Not even like just my skin after I washed off the sliminess of it, but like just in general, like I was in a pretty good mood. I felt pretty light and stuff. Yeah, it didn't stick around too long.
Next question.
Did you see any interdimensional monsters?
This allusion to Stranger Things is obviously a joke, but also bears some significance. Let's briefly explain theta waves. The human brain experiences four main types of brain waves, dependent on state of consciousness and activity. From beta waves, where you're awake and alert, to delta waves, where you're in a deep slumber. The theta state is where your brain is at its most relaxed without being asleep, and in this state, your creativity flourishes. This state can be achieved with activities that require very little brain power, such as actions that are almost second nature to you, like showering and taking long drives, or floating in a dark tank made to remove as much sensory stimuli as possible, like, say, a sensory deprivation tank. At this heightened sense of creativity, people see and experience all sorts of things, potentially even interdimensional monsters, but hopefully not.
I saw my grandmother's third husband. Does that count?
Oh, I kept like getting invasive thoughts of aliens eating me and like eating my stomach. That happened a lot. It was like Lovecrafty and shit. They were like tentacles.
Oh, so they weren't like gray aliens.
No, they weren't great.
Talon! It wasn't like the aliens you're afraid of.
What do they look like?
Tentacles.
Oh, yeah, they can have tentacles.
Yeah, it's fine.
I sound a little crazy, but whatever. I saw like a dragon, and it was like...
Is he purple?
No, it was red. It was like silver. I saw the Chinese dragon, but it had like little tiny wings. It was like flying around in front of me, and then like I was like, oh, that's cool. This is crazy. And it comes and wraps its whole body around me, and I could feel it. I could physically feel it literally wrapping around me. It seemed scary, but it felt like he was an old friend kind of thing.
Come on,
Yes,
dragon, you big old lug, you come over here and give me a big old dragon hug.
What sort of stuff?
Every once in a while, I see like little specks going like by in my vision, and I was like, what if I bring this speck of light closer? Like I was trying to make myself see something. And then whenever I did, the speck of light got closer and closer, and then it became a square, and then I stepped out of it, and then suddenly I'm on a pirate ship, and I hear seagulls. I hear the ocean, I hear like all the breeze, there are people like singing shanties, and I'm like, this is beautiful, and I was like, I'm still in that tank, and then the vision, and then all of that's gone. I didn't get to go on a fun pirate adventure in my brain, I just got to look at it.
Did you experience anything you didn't expect?
I didn't expect it to be so slimy. Like, it felt good, but all the magnesium sulfate just like layers over you, and you're just very smooth.
You were in there for 90 minutes, but you didn't get pruny.
So I thought that was kind of cool.
There were a few things I didn't expect. One of them was I kept kind of just floating back and forth. Like my body, I just couldn't stay still. Not because I was moving, but I was just so light. I kept hitting the wall. And like I had to like lightly push myself back to the other side or the center. I remember going 1 second like, man, I'm not feeling anything. When is this gonna end? And then my whole body just, it felt like I wasn't in my body, but I was at the same time. And it was like time flew. And then like when I came back into like consciousness, I was like, what the shit just happened? That wasn't better.
The air was really warm in there, and I expected, oh, this is like a meditative experience. You'll be able to breathe and it'll feel so nice. And at first, it does not feel nice. You feel like you are suffocating.
I'm not spiritual, so if I have a spiritual experience, I'll have to reevaluate some things. I ended up having a pretty spiritual experience. I grew up religious. I'm not religious anymore, but I felt the feeling that I used to feel that I associated with God. I was raised with a male god, so it was a masculine presence, and I picture it like gold. And then I was just re-examining things because I was like, I'm okay with the idea of a god, but like, why is it this one? And then so like, I started to feel a different presence that was feminine. There was the one who was gold, the original one, and then this one was blue.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna freak the f out right now. You are literally describing the god and goddess of Wicca right now.
Is the god gold and the goddess is blue?
Basically, goddess color is blue. She can be green or silver as well, but god, normally bright gold. Bright f***ing goldy yellow.
Yeah.
Okay, anyways, continue.
That was the main thing, the religious stuff was weird.
I got the haunting image of the kid who plays young Sheldon.
Oh my god!
And he scared me. Because he plays a pretty frightening child in Big Little Lies. But congrats on your gold god.
Oh yeah.
When I got out, my first instinct was not to go to my phone. I forgot about my phone until I saw it. I was like, oh, phone. Right. I feel like that was my personal triumph for the
goal achieved
for the day.
That's awesome. That's really cool.
Thank you.
Fivers all around.
Thank you.
Was it boring?
I think there were moments.
Yeah.
There were definitely moments.
There was one instance where I just like found myself flicking the water. Yeah, I was like,
I did that too.
in that moment I was like, I'm a little bored.
Yeah.
I mean, at certain points, I did have that moment of like, how much longer am I in here? But that was only about like half a second before I was just like, shut up, dumb brain, we're here to have fun.
Yeah, I was only bored in between, like when I was uncomfortable. When I was comfortable, I didn't want to leave the tank.
As the one who got out early, I'm gonna have to say yes. I got really stressed in there. I have a very hard time sitting still for a really long time. Even when I sleep, I'll be completely asleep and my body's still moving around. There was a certain point where like I was just so bored, and it was only like 20 minutes in. That's how ADHD I am. I just started putting my hands on the walls and spinning myself inside of the water.
Was it ever scary?
I did have a bit of anxiety at the beginning, just because it was such a new feeling. I actually kept like laughing to myself. Like I laid down, I was like,
At the beginning, it was pretty scary. It was super warm in the tank, but the air itself, like it felt steamy and thick. And like for a second, I forgot that I could breathe. I was almost hyperventilating. And then I had to tell myself like, no, you can breathe. It's just hot air.
I had a moment towards the very end where I was like, I'm in a spaceship and there's aliens around me. Oh my god, there's aliens, they're aliens! And it was like dark and it was like light, and then I was fine.
I had claustrophobia, y'all.
Has your outlook on the world changed at all?
Everything is still meaningless.
I don't think that I came out with any of the insight that I was thinking I might. I got a little bit of insight. I need more therapy.
I'm glad my outlook didn't change. I didn't want anything big to happen. I just wanted to enjoy it and get out, and that's what I did for the most part.
It's not that my outlook on the world has changed, it's my outlook on my personal practices has changed. I was not sure a path to go down, and now I'm like, oh, I like the way that one looks. Let me take a little wander down there.
I thought about some things that made me a little sad. I thought about Boy Kitty, who's passed away now. I thought about my grandmother, who's also passed when I was in 9th grade. At first it was like kind of like almost like pleasant, like visiting, but then like it started to make me really sad, and I don't know, I was able to work through it. I sort of thought about it like a light. The light wasn't on, and then it was, and then it got turned back off. They weren't awake, and then they woke up and had lots of happy experiences, and then they went back to sleep.
Oh.
Yeah. And
I feel like crying too.
that made me feel okay as someone who struggles with the idea of death a lot.
Ooh, I just teared up. That's really sweet. Damn, what an awkward adventure.
Well, the 3 of us.
I saw God and learned to deal with my losses in my life.
I saw a dragon.
Closing thoughts.
Closing thoughts.
I think it's really important to at least do it once in your life, because whether it's just gonna be a really needed relaxation from like normal, everyday, mundane life, or it's gonna be something spiritual, like no matter what it is, it's 100% worth it.
I think we live in a time where there's just so much stimulus that constantly kind of keeps you from yourself.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's good to be able to just shut everything out and just be like, I'm just gonna be alone with myself right now.
Yeah.
It's just gonna be me.
I enjoyed it. I recommend that you do it. I recommend that you do it for a shorter amount of time. If you do it for a shorter amount of time, there's less of a chance that you can experience something like really cool. But if you do it longer, there's a higher chance that you'll be bored more at some point. But I really enjoyed that experience. It was really unique. I would do it again, for sure.
Same.
All right, good.
Don't listen to anything we've said for like expectations. As you could probably see through the interviews, like everybody had a completely different experience. And if you go in trying to emulate someone else's experience, you're gonna ruin your own. So like, just be you, just have a good time. Remember to remain calm if you can't breathe, because you definitely can.
Don't let my experience deter you, especially if this is something that interests you, because there is a really good chance that this can be something that will have a really cool and awesome effect on you and will provide you with a lot of insight.
And no matter what your experience, you're gonna have really soft skin after that, and that's pretty cool.
That's true. You will have very soft skin.
So there you have it! Sensory Deprivation Tanks. I want to thank everybody that participated, all of my friends. I do want to give a big thank you to H2Ohm for having us, and also to Kylie for talking with us. It was really fascinating and awesome. I definitely wouldn't mind going back again and seeing if there's a different experience for me when I go back. This was a lot of fun, and we hope to do more videos like this in the future, so if you enjoyed this, please stay tuned, because there is more to come. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're interested in watching any of our previous videos, you can click over here. If you're new to the channel and would like to subscribe, click down here. And if you're interested in becoming featured fander, click down here. That's it, and until next time, take it easy, guys, gals, and non-binary pals. Peace out. Thomas, don't listen to young Sheldon tonight. He's going to come back. Do not listen to him, and do not give him your name.
Oh my god.
We've got it. We've got an awkward adventure. Okay, we're gonna work on high fives at the next adventure.
Okay, awkward adventure, learning how to high five.
Awkward.